I'll just explore this weird dark cave. Who's that like? What was that? Oh. Can I have 20 pence for the bus, like?
Hi, welcome to Top Grumps, the show where we take your favourite characters, rank them on their abilities, and talk a lot of nonsense as we go. I'm Lee, and I'm joined by our other host, Kris. Hello, Kris.
All right. Alright.
And who else have we got? Our
We've
special
got-
guest.
Becca.
Hello.
Hi, Becca. Thanks for coming on.
I'm excited. I'm the first guest. I didn't realise. I thought you'd had guests before, but no. Thank
Well-
you for inviting me.
Well, from when we did have the Buffy podcast, it did seem like you were quite a fan of it.
Possibly.
And none of us got to go on the Buffy podcast because I think there are some maybe bigger fans that were on there.
No, they can't be. They can't
No,
be
they
bigger fans than me.
can't. No, right.
No.
Yes, so this week we're going to talk about the person that monsters dream about. And actually so does Lee, but for entirely different reasons. It is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy and Summers. Mainly from the series because I don't read the comics or anything like that. Any of the other media.
I've definitely seen the film, but I can't remember anything about it.
It was another lass. That's all I know about it.
I watched it when the TV show was on Sky.
Yeah.
I think the movie aired at one point, maybe it was at the end of a season or before a season came out. And it was just weird seeing somebody else play Buffy Summers. Even though they did it first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you think it was a bit like the 90s version of Timu?
Yeah, it seemed like a very cheap version of it, didn't it?
It did.
This isn't Sarah Michelle Gellar.
She took that role and she very much made it her own. You know, it lasted, 8 years? 7 years?
Yeah.
You know, and that's so much more. That's so much more than what the movie gave us. Even though it had very, very big names in it, it wasn't quite as good as the television show.
I can't actually think of anybody that was in the movie, apart from what's he called? Chris Griffin dude, Scott Evil. I can't remember his name now.
Seth MacFarlane.
Not Seth MacFarlane. It is Seth something, isn't it?
Seth Green.
Seth Green. That's the one. Wasn't he in it? Possibly.
Yes. He's a werewolf.
No, wasn't he in the movie as well as the TV show?
Yeah.
You had obviously
somebody.
You had Kirsten Swanson, you had Donald Sutherland, Paul Rubens, and Luke Perry.
Donald Sutherland.
Yes,
Was he like the Master or something?
No, I think he was like the Watcher.
Really?
He was basically I don't quote me because it has been a very long time, but I'm like 99% sure he was like the Giles equivalent that was in the television show.
Oh, I wouldn't have put him in that.
I'm gonna have to check.
I would have put him as like maybe he's an evil vampire or something.
No, he plays Maverick. So yeah, he's the Watcher.
Do you know who else was in it as well? Pedro Pascal.
No way.
He was very young, so I've seen pictures of him. I don't know what character he played, but I when we looked at the episode just before, I was looking at an interview from him because Sarah Michelle Gellar posted a picture saying, "Oh, when Daddy met Mammy" or something like that, and a picture of them two.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, in a trailer she had ice cream, and she used to give us ice cream. She taught us how to do this, and blah blah." He loved it. But yeah, he was in it.
Wow.
It was either season 3 or season 4, so we're like talking like mid to late 90s. But yeah, he had a role. I think he was a student. I'm not sure if it was high school or whether it was college. But yeah, it was one of his first ever roles, I think.
Right.
And there were a lot of people that were famous, sort of started in the industry on Buffy. A lot of them, you know, they're like guest stars or quick cameos and you miss it, but a lot of them did.
It seems strange to have so many big names. Was Buffy, was it a comic before a movie or something? Or a book? Or anything? Because it seems like a very weird concept for all these famous people to get involved in. Oh, we're going to have a cheerleader fighting vampires.
It was Josh Whedon. Obviously, he took a lot of the inspiration from X-Men, from Kitty Pryde.
Ah, right. That
So that's
does make
kind of
sense.
yeah, that's kind of where the concept and that type of thing came from. So
Wasn't it like the basically the mainstream horror, like the first introduction to mainstream horror, like normal people, like our parents and stuff like that.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be weird for them actors to jump on that, but yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I think it's because I think we forget because obviously we were quite young, you know. This was 20 odd years ago it came out of how
Yeah.
big
Paul must have
Buffy
only been in
was.
his 30s then, man.
But yes, it was such a big show. You know, Sarah Michelle Gellar became a big star from this. You know, she was still filming, I believe, Scooby Doo around this time of sort of like the last couple of seasons, and she was filming. Is it I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Mm.
I've never
So,
actually seen
you
that
know,
film. I think
it's a good
about
one. It's a
some people did something last summer. That's all I know.
yeah, but obviously this is how big sort of Sarah Michelle Gellar became from that role. So it's very much her defining role, I believe.
Yeah, it has to be. I don't think anyone puts anything else like in that category with her.
Other than her playing Daphne,
Yeah,
you know, in Scooby Doo.
but even then, the whole Scooby Doo thing, she's overshadowed by what's the Scream guy? Matthew Lillard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's the most perfect thing in them movies.
and he just doesn't age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, have you seen the interviews with him when he's talking about like Scooby Doo? He loved it.
I think he still voices the character in the cartoons and stuff now.
Does he? But he is Shaggy though, isn't he?
He is. Should
anyway,
we
Buffy.
have a look at the card and see what we're doing, what we're dealing with? Ta-da!
That's it.
We're going to be judging it on strength, stamina, reliability, intelligence, intimidation. We'll discuss her strengths and weaknesses, and then come up with some kind of finishing move for her as well.
So should we start with strength? Should we let Becca go first?
Yeah! Let our special guest go first.
It's nice having someone who knows what they're talking about on it.
So yes, I have given her 10 for strength. I've not gone 11 purely because there are moments where she's not as strong as she could be. When she loses her powers in season 3, when she's put through the test by the Watchers Council. But she is the chosen one, and I think she absolutely kicks ass. So yeah, her strength is 10 for me.
I feel like she is definitely up there for a 10, but I think Faith's even stronger than Buffy. I mean, I'm sure the fight, and doesn't Buffy win, but Faith just seems that bit more uncontrollable and wild,
Yes,
unpredictable.
I can actually agree with that. I will agree with that because she doesn't have limits.
Yeah,
She doesn't have that touch of humanity that will bring her back from the edge.
exactly. Yes. So yeah, I'm going for 10 as well. So, Kris, the pressure's
Right.
on.
So I've got all mine pre-written on a bit of paper here, so like no one can accuse us of cheating. So I think it's a triple tip touch.
Oh,
Oh.
all 10s
Because
all around.
So I've done a.
What, do I have to go over the top for Kris? And
I think so. Or should I go under or what? Am I touching there? Anyway, yeah, I scored a 10. I would have scored 11, but she's not punching holes in people like on Kung Pao into the fist.
that's
That-
going to be a staple going forward for every strength rank,
Yeah.
isn't it? Well, they can't punch holes through people like Kung Pao, so they're
It
not
works.
getting an 11.
That is the only reason. Should we move on to stamina anyway?
Yes. So, Kris, would you like to go first this time?
I'll yeah, no problem. So I did originally score her an 8, but then I remembered she's been resurrected like 3 times or something. So if that doesn't have a bit of actually no, she had a little rest when she was dead, wasn't she? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 8.
An 8 for stamina.
I mean, she keeps coming back. She's pretty solid, but she has a little rest when she dies. So
Okay. Yeah, we can go for that then.
I can see that.
Becca, what about yourself?
I've gone for 9.
A 9?
A 9, yes.
It's a bit more
So
respectable.
sorry, you will have to do some sums. I've gone for a 9 purely because, yes, she is top of her strength. All of that, but she doesn't always have the get up and go to keep going. There are moments where, like Kris has mentioned quite a few times, then she dies. She doesn't have. She just doesn't. She just doesn't have that get up and go that I would have expected in Faith, for example, to use that analogy.
Selfish.
What was that?
It's just selfish, her dying all the time.
I know. What's that all about?
But yeah, I would have gone for a 9 as well. Pretty much like she's pretty unstoppable. I don't think she gets tired at all during the season, does she? Through any of the seasons, does she?
There are moments, yeah. There are moments in season 7 where she has to face like the badass vampire. I can't remember what his name is. But it's the one that comes out of the Hellmouth. And she does get her ass handed to her. Like,
only time I've seen her
good and
building up
proper.
a sweat is when she's been on like a punching bag or something. But she never seems out of breath or anything when she's just fought like 50 vampires. And
Yeah.
and it never shows you how long she's been punching that punch bag, so she could have been there for 12 hours for all we know.
We know. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm going for 9 for that as well. I think 2 9s and an 8, is that right? So that's like 8.66 or something like that. I don't know.
Close enough.
I would put a number between 8 and 9. Don't you and Becca need to touch tips a bit?
Oh, other way.
Oh, no, that way.
No.
There we go.
There we go.
I'll get it right by the end.
Next up, we've got reliability. Hang on, did our mum die? Our mum wasn't murdered, was she?
No, she passed away.
Yeah.
The reliable people not have murdered moms, like.
Well, you dropped Spider-Man's points because he wasn't there to save Uncle Ben, even though it wasn't his fault.
True. It was.
So,
It was.
I've got to give her an 11 then. I can't take any points off her for reliability. Like, she's always there for our friends. I've never seen her let anyone down. She's sacrificed herself like 3 times or something. Like, she literally jumps off some giant diving board into a swirling portal of evil to save the whole world. So, I've got to give her full points. The fact that she's gave up her own life, that just seals it.
Well, I'll go next, and for the same reason as Lee, I'm giving it 11 because she saved the world a lot. She died for her sister. She, as he said, she literally jumped off into the portal and killed herself to save her sister, who wasn't his sister, who was like the key of the universe. There's no one else who's more reliable in Buffy than Buffy.
If it wasn't to save us, save the whole world as well as our sister, I wouldn't have jumped. If it was just like, jump off here and Dawn gets to live. No. Probably the most annoying character in all of Buffy. Even Cordelia.
She's not. She's not. She is not.
Who is the most annoying character?
Xander.
No.
I love Xander. I mean, I think he's had a bit
He
of
bugs
problems
me.
outside of Buffy, but I like the character of Xander.
The character bugs me.
He's just that doggy best friend, Captain Friendzone.
Oh, God, yeah.
Reliability, because you both scored so high, I'm going to tank it a bit. just play devil's advocate. I would put a 6. Mainly because I can't get over she died 3 times. Think how many times she's been late for class because she's dead.
Okay, so
that's the only reason. I totally agree with your point. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh, my
Fair
God.
enough. I can't fault that.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to find out how many times she has been late for class because she's had to save the world.
Yeah, was it Giles, Anthony Head?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd be raging. Actually, he wouldn't care. He's a librarian. He's not even a teacher.
But
Yeah.
he's the Watcher, so he probably would have made excuses up for him, being like, "Oh, she's been in the library helping us rearrange
she's
the
got
books."
Got
Possibly.
COVID.
Which
Had to
just
come in for a week.
that just sounds like somebody that's been having an affair with the school librarian, though. She's been helping us
Yeah.
rearrange my books.
Yeah. I can't even argue with that. Yeah.
What is 6 and 2 11s then? What's in the middle of them?
8.56.
8.56. There we go. Right.
I'll go for that.
What have we got next? Intelligence, and we're back to you, Becca. So.
Okay, for intelligence, I have actually given a low score. I have given 7 as my score because she relies on everyone around her. So she's got the witch, the very, very smart Willow, who isn't just a witch, she is a computer genius. And she's got the Watchers. She's got Giles and all the other characters that we've had along the way, like, I don't know, what was her name? Jenny Calendar, you know, she was smart. She's got very, very smart people around her. So her intelligence, though she is very, very street smart, very street intelligent, you know, she grows as a character from the ditzy teenager very much to the adult who is relying on herself to survive. But overall, yeah, it's a 7 from me.
Oh, that's spot on. Yeah, she does rely on everyone else, like Willow and Giles, to be like, "Oh, this is what you need to do." Because if she's by herself, she's just like, "Oh, punching it's not working. Punch it harder." And oh,
But this is
punching
why
it
I
harder's
think-
not working. Shoot it with a rocket launcher.
But this is why, as a Slayer, she's lasted so long, because she's had that community around her.
Yeah, all the other ones seem to die quite young.
Yep.
I mean, she has died quite young numerous times. Which
But she was brought back.
I'm sure Chris is going to say that her intelligence will be low because she was dead and couldn't make it to class.
It seems to be a theme.
I
I wasn't
haven't
actually.
given- I would probably give her a 4 for intelligence. I haven't seen her do anything smart apart from stab things.
I agree with the low score, right? Which I know both of you have give her, but I put a 4 as well. Mainly because without everyone around her, she'd be dead more than 3 times over. I think she wouldn't know anything. Yeah, she wouldn't know how to fight vampires. She would be nommed within the first
Nommed.
few episodes.
Definitely.
At least by the end of season 1, should be dead.
Yeah, exactly. She's nothing without the people around her, them guiding her and telling her what to do. It's not well, maybe it's not in the later seasons, but like in the early seasons, she'd be dead. She'd be dead again.
She's been bit a few times, hasn't she?
Yeah.
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 Season 1. Yeah, I can think of at least 5, I think.
Wow. So she does get numbed in season 1.
Yeah, but she'd be ultra. It would have been a 4th time she died.
So 2 4s and a 5, was it?
7.
6. Was 6? Is that fair? Yeah, it saves math.
5.5?
5.5. Okay, yeah, that's more in the middle, isn't it? What have you?
Intimidation,
what have you
right?
given her?
Yeah, so I always think when I judge someone on intimidation, imagine I was a baddie, right? I was nicking a packet of Whatsits from the co-op in the morning, and someone was at the end of the aisle watching us. Would I put that packet of Whatsits back? Nah. Like, so I'd just be like, oh, it's just a lass. Do you want some Whatsits? I've give her a 4.
Yeah.
I don't think she's that intimidating. I think there's parts where she's fighting, she's killed some people, or staked some vampires, where if I saw it, I'd be like, oh yeah, but just the general appearance, nah. What's your score, Lee? What do you think?
Definitely higher than a 4. It depends. If you're a vampire and you know who she is, you're gonna shit your pants immediately. and be like, "Oh, here's me dead." But again, because you're already dead.
Unless you Spike.
But if you're just some random bloke walking down the street and she walks past you, it's just going to be like, "Ah, look at the small blonde girl walking past." Cause what is she like, 5 foot tall or something like that?
Don't diss people that are 5 foot tall.
Especially when they're appearing on your podcast.
Are you both of you 5 foot tall?
Well, I'm 5'2". Chris is a little bit taller than me.
I'm 5'4".
Right.
I mean, I'm 6'7".
But still, though, like she's like just this sweet-looking cheerleader walking past. You're not going to be going, "Oh no, she might beat us up."
I've seen the fad edits, yeah.
But did I give a score there? Well, that's it. I mean, I'm just making this up as I go along, so I'll give a 7, and that's like somewhere high mid range at least, because the vampires are going to be scared of her, but normal people aren't.
I've given actually a very similar score to you, but I've given 8 for the same reasons. So I've looked at it very much from, does she scare humans? Or really, does she scare vampires and the Watchers Council and, you know, the initiative, which are basically, they're humans. Does she scare them? Just a tad. So yeah, I've kind of gone the difference. No.
So what, 8, 7, and what did you say, Chris? 5 or 4?
4. 4. 8, 7, and 4. So I don't know, 5, 6.
6.5. Let's go 6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're on to Buffy's strengths and weaknesses now.
Well, since Becca's our guest, I think she could go first.
Okay, so her strengths are the fact that she's the chosen one. She's been the chosen one for 7 years. She's one of the longest serving chosen ones, and she basically changed the rules of being a slayer so that anyone who was born to be a slayer could be a slayer alongside everyone else. But her weaknesses are how reliable she is on her friends, and the fact that she very much doesn't do well by herself. I'm trying to think of other weaknesses, because I find this part difficult, because obviously she is a favourite character of mine. You know, I grew up with Buffy. I wanted to be a Slayer. You know, I was very much wanting that. So I don't have many weaknesses, I'm afraid, because she is a very, very firm favourite in my eyes.
So Buffs, right? Toby Carvery. Or steak and chips.
What are you on about? What?
Right, so...
steak!
Steak.
Fucking hell, man.
I didn't even click.
Oh, I live for your groans. Right, so yeah, I just said steak and chips, which I was planning on making a pun on it, but I'm not. I didn't really get that far for our Buffs.
I think steak and chips is already pun enough. Jake will be spinning in his seat or bed or wherever he is right now, just like there's a disturbance in the force.
Yes, his spider senses will be going off.
I think you'd be a bit disappointed in that, actually. But I'll do better next time, Jake. I'm sorry. So for debuffs, weaknesses, I've put spooky supernatural men.
That's
Angel,
a really good one.
Spike,
Dracula.
etc. Yeah, Dracula, Dr. Acula. Yeah, I think she would just grumble. She lets emotions get to her, and it goes a bit to shit, doesn't it?
That was going to be my weaknesses as well. I was going to say Angel, because she does have a weakness when it comes to him, and then I completely forgot about the whole Spike thing. For me, the same things for strengths that you said, Becca, and weaknesses. Yeah, the men. Right. We'll move on to the HP.
I've put full marks 69 because she's died 3 times. She came back. It doesn't actually. I don't think it actually matters what her health is if she just gets a free pass or a mate are just going to bring her back. It's kind of like a unlimited health cheat code. Full mark 69.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, I too would love to give Buffy a 69.
Yeah.
And I would also give her 69 on health.
What about you, Becca? Would you 69?
I would, yes.
Yeah, well, let's move on then.
Both reasons that Lee said. But yeah, no, I think for the same reasons. I think because, yeah, I don't know what I could say to that, which hasn't already been said by both of you. But yeah,
Yeah,
69.
sorry.
Touch tips for that.
So
Should we move on to the special finishing move?
yes, we'll do that now.
So, as always, I've got a pun this month, this episode. So I'll let you guys go first, I think. Do you want to take it away, Becca?
Yes. So the special move. So I've got Fashionette Diva. Because she always looks absolutely fantastic, no matter what, whether she's patrolling high school, college, whether she's at work in the burger place. She absolutely looks amazing, and she gets points for that.
For finishing move, I'm gonna have to call it "Stake Me in the Buff."
I kind of like it.
Right.
But I don't know what Chris
I
is gonna, Chris is just gonna blow it out of the water now, isn't he?
Right.
Pressure's on.
So, I've got the James Masters mash.
The James Masters mash.
Well, I've got down here the Masters mash. I thought
Is that like? Is that as in like? Who did the mash? Who did the Masters mash?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Since Becca's our first ever guest, I think she should decide.
I think we should just go with what was it, the fashioness diva, was it?
No, I think both of yours are better.
Oh,
So I actually think Lee's was funnier. It made me laugh more.
stake
Right.
me in
Though
the buff.
you do get extra points for the fact that you did make Lee sing.
Ooh. I could have Oz
And
in the
the
background.
werewolf howl.
Oh, so that is the card finished then, isn't it? That's everything ranked. All grumped up. So, we're going to have a look at the Schmabble wheel now.
Oh yeah.
Did we do anything special for this?
Basically, we'll pretend that we're not ripping off Trekking Up North on Fridays.
Yeah. Of who? Oh, they do something similar, don't they? Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah.
They've got like a
sorry.
sort of lesser version of the Schmabble wheel called the Dabble wheel.
Oh.
It'll not catch on.
No, I don't think so.
Please,
Love you
please
guys.
edit that out.
Right, okay, I'm gonna give it a spin. Oh, come on, someone good.
Bravo!
Oh, oh. Oh, no. Oh, I thought we had Django, but we've got John Connor. So, Chris, you finally have to watch Terminator 2.
Right.
This is
No,
not
brother.
rigged. This is not rigged.
That's hilarious.
I promise you that
Right.
was not rigged.
Is
What?
John Connor the iguana from the first one?
No.
So next week we'll be talking about John Connor from the Terminator 2 film.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Right.
Does it make you happy that I've finally got to watch it?
Yeah, I bought you it on DVD for your birthday.
Who has a DVD player? I don't have anything that takes discs.
I didn't even think you did. I was like, he probably hasn't got a DVD player, but it's just the fact that I'm getting you this just made us laugh. Because I'd hassled you for about a year to watch it.
It's been about a
Yeah.
year, if not 18 months.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Well, you've got no choice now. You know, you've got a very limited time frame now to do this.
I've got till what? Next week? Right. It'll be fine. I'll watch it this weekend.
does anyone have anything, last words that they would like to say about Buffy before we end?
Yes, I would like to thank Buffy, the Pink Power Ranger, the lass from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a couple of the X-Men from the Fox Kids cartoon, that the blonde lass from Saved by the Bell, for making teenage Chris's life a bit better in life. Introducing Buffy for introducing horror, the silent episode, the singing episode. I really quite like Buffy. I can't remember most of it, but I remember it being a big part in the 90s on Friday night watching it as a family.
Yes, we all know that I love the character of Buffy, but I just want to leave everyone with something about how the character developed. So she went from, this is a quote from her, from "I'm 16 years old, I don't want to die," to "I'm standing on the mouth of hell and it's going to swallow me whole and it will choke on me." I just think those lines side by side show such an impact around the character, and show like how far she went in the course of 7 seasons. So I think that just kind of shows why she's got the points that she does for these cards.
That was beautiful. I'm going to have to edit that bit out because it was way too sophisticated for our show.
I'm sorry.
I was just going to spoil it there.
But no, thank you very much for coming on. It's been a pleasure to have you.
I'm sorry if I didn't quite lower the tone as far as you expected.
No, it did.
Maybe next time.
We'll definitely have you on again.
Yes, but thank you very much for allowing me to be the first guest. We're going to have to work out now how to tell people, because they still don't know who it's me.
Yeah. Make sure to check out Becca on the Women of Nerd Culture podcast. I think it should be this Saturday coming. Who are you going to be talking about, or what's the topic?
Ironically, we're actually talking about kick-ass women, so this absolutely lines up perfectly with us having a week on Nerdy Up North of kick-ass women.
Oh, amazing. And what is your other podcast? Obsidian Fleet? Or
it's Fleetcast. It's Fleetcast, where we review the animated series of Star Trek, Doctor Who, and anything else that we fancy, to be honest.
And everyone that's watching, check out Fleetcast. I'm sure Paul will put a link below so people can find it through here. Right, so thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and don't be a grump, be a top grump. Thanks guys, bye.
Bye.